It is going to be very interesting to see just how yellow is this Yellowheart wood. Now, my experience with purple heartwood is it varies greatly. It goes all the way from brown to red, and if you're lucky, it will be purple. But it's very seldom predictable. You can't tell by looking at the pen blank. Now, I've seen pictures of this Yellowheart on the internet, and it is quite yellow, or can be, and I'm assuming they haven't photoshopped the picture. Now, here's something I didn't count on, and it's not a big problem, but the blank here is about, a 1/16 of an inch or maybe an 1/8 of an inch longer than the total travel on my drill press. So I'm going to have to give it 2 goes. That's a good fit. Just about perfect. Now, like I said yesterday, I'm going to sand this down just very, very lightly. I think I'll just use 400 grit. I don't want to, sand all these little tiny bumps off. You know what? I'm going to look at this even closer. I want to see, are these little ridges sharp? Or are they sort of, has this thing maybe been dipped in some sort of shellac after they scuffed it? Which is what I'm thinking they might have done. No, I was wrong. It hasn't been shellacked or anything. It's ready to glue. I don't need to sand. Now I fully realize you're not seeing this as clear as I saw it under the microscope. This is just the macro lens. But I'm in about as close as I can get. And I hope you can notice that the grooves are nice and sharp. In other words, they're not rounded over like the bumps on the bottom of a new Teflon frying pan. So I'm thinking this is going to work okay. Now this is a piece of used sandpaper, so I'm getting a little bit of sawdust on here. I'm going to wipe that off with isopropyl alcohol here and also get any fingerprints that I may have got on it, which I undoubtedly would have got on it. Get them off. Now I do not have an extra brass tube. I don't know why it is. I did not order extra brass tubes when I got this pen kit. I almost always do. It's possible they were not available, I don't know. Can't remember now. However, gonna have to be very careful not to mess this up, because this is the only one. Now you may have been wondering, why was I going to such an effort to get the fingerprint off of the brass tube? Well, think of it this way. If you spray your cookie sheet with Pam, the cookie isn't going to stick to it. Well, it's kind of the same way with this. And there we go. And also, the fingerprint will help to quickly, or not quickly, but it will make the CA glue set faster or cure faster. Because I guess there's something in the fingerprint. It's like when you get CA glue on your skin, it sets almost right away. Well, the fingerprint is much the same way. So if I can get that off, like I say, if I get the fingerprint off, it's going to give me more working time. And being as I've only got one brass tube, I'm a little bit paranoid about it. I think this is going to be okay. No, I just won't touch that anymore with my fingers. Well, all being well, that brass tube should stay in there. And so did a lot of the elastic band, so I'm going to have a little bit of a clean out to do here. Now, needless to say, I want to be very careful not to enlarge the inside of the end of the brass tube, because if I do, my pen parts are going to be loose. And yet on the other hand, I want to make sure I got everything out of there, otherwise it's going to be so tight I could end up breaking the pen press or the pen part. I've been pretty lucky so far. Now you can see the pen mill has gone down quite a ways into the blank before it got to the brass tube. And I'm realizing now that had I cut my blank a little bit shorter, I probably would not have had to have done the drill press thing twice. Well, maybe the next Celtic pen, I'll remember that. And the other end. Well, tomorrow we turn.